It actually begins with us, and my focus today is to tell you what can we do as employees within our organizations, which then we carry forward at home as well, which will remain as a behavior. That's the focus of my talk, and therefore let me just move on to give you some ideas, and let me tell you what is being done, why is it important, why should we even care about it. So first of all, what we already know about it is the multinational companies have a great pressure to become green, to remain green. And our concerns are basically employees are not typically concerned with their energy usage, as resources are mostly shared because we don't have a direct responsibility. And the speakers before me very well said that what we can do is, if we save 50% of the energy consumption, efficiency can be done. But how do we save? What do we need to do? Typically, our problems are that because in a workplace, it's a typical situation that we are not actually responsible because the resources are shared. So they do not have, in fact, same financial interest in the workplace as in that of a home. These are some of our issues. So when we say the employee green behavior, basically, it could not only necessarily be related only to the energy, but also there are many other things that we can contribute to. So the way where we can work sustainably, creating sustainable product, avoiding harm, conserving, these are all some of the things that we can do or act upon for the sustainable development. So these some of the interesting ideas, the environmental concern itself, we can create an awareness, we can educate people around that. One of the best ways what has worked for. And yesterday we also had a living example of SIVA where we said the storytelling act of the leadership as to say what can we do and how does it impact when we don't do something like this? When we have a e-bill or a green bill developed and shown, that creates a huge impact in the minds of the people. So it's been said in the literature as well, there are many strategies, and therefore you as the participants of today's conference also contribute a lot to this ongoing research where we are trying to build a strategy or an engagement model, and that is why you are actually filling in this green sheet, because we value what you think as well. That's what will contribute, and in the next year we will have something to give it back to you in the form of a strategy. So the initial ideas in a nutshell, the stimuli that what we can promote, as we already spoke about, the green champions, green leaders within the organization, creating as much possible the awareness. So by means of communication, and then creating a culture within the organization for green, that which plays a very, very important role. The usability and the visibility, why we are doing it and how does it impact the bottom line. These are some of the stimuli that we came across in our first initial findings as we went through this whole cycle of understanding the various organizations' best practices. As I just briefly mentioned to you yesterday, those of you who are here, so it was an engagement that we brought in some experts from UK as well as from UAE. We visited the sustainable organizations and understood the way, the impacts that have been created, and we had good examples this morning and this afternoon where we saw what the companies are really doing. Technology is helping them, but the fundamental issue remains with that of the people. The change, we said, yes, change need to come. Education is important, but that is central to people. So it starts with the people. So you and me, what we need to go and do today, what is the change that we are looking forward. These are some of the important aspects that we need to create more and more awareness until we are comfortable in thinking in the sustainable behavior manner. So sometimes, at times in the organizations, as I said, because it is shared resources, we don't have the direct responsibility, and therefore we forget the things that we are responsible for it. Therefore, financial triggers may have an impact. Teamwork and knowledge share are some of the other aspects what we do within this department in order to share. Or when we say what has been saved because of our good activities and things like that, that can also trigger the other part of the organization. So as such, the healthy competitions are another way forward. Defined responsibility are some of the way that we also understood that the organizations are doing, taking responsibility and developing a holistic approach to this. So this is the challenge that you have. This is a question that we have in front of us as to what we can do as to change the behavior of the people.